Tuscaloosa in a frenzy! We talked about
Alabama reaches the college cup for the first time.
Heisman Memorial Trophy.
The first soccer championship in school history.
Is still Alabama.
Welcome to the Crimson Tide production studio right here inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium.
She's Kenzie Hughes and I'm Roger Hoover, and welcome to another episode of Tide TV this week. Roll Tide, it's always good to get to 4-0 in SEC play.
4-0 in SEC play, and it's getting to where it's football weather, which means it's getting to where it's basketball weather. We'll get to that later, obviously, because it was homecoming week for the Crimson Tide, and going into the matchup against Arkansas, the Tide had won 16 in a row over the Razorbacks.
Arkansas jumped out to a 6-0 lead on a pair of field goals. The first touchdown of the game came on what turned out to be the longest play of the game. It was Jalen Milroe connecting with Kobe Prentice on a 79-yard touchdown pass to put the Crimson Tide on top 7-6.
Going from the longest scoring play to the shortest scoring play, a 1-yard rushing touchdown from Milroe made it 14-6. Milroe added one more through the air. This 29-yard pass to Amari Niblack put Bama up 21-6. Alabama dominated Arkansas in the second quarter as the Tide outgained the Razorbacks 170 yards to just 10.
Will Reichard added a 30-yard field goal on Alabama's opening drive of the second half to make it 24-6. A couple of penalties by the Tide defense aided the Razorbacks, scoring a couple touchdowns. But the Crimson Tide held on to win their 17th in a row against the Razorbacks, 24-21.
You know, we played pretty well in the game up till 24-6, which was about halfway through the third quarter, and then we didn't finish. We got penalties. The whole momentum of the game is on the third down stop. We get grabbing a guy by the face mask after the play, and then they go down the field and score. The momentum of the game changes. We go 3 and out on offense, have a couple drop balls, miss a couple throws, and not executing, not hitting on all cylinders, let the other team back in the game. But hopefully we can learn how to beat the other team. Not just win the game, but beat the other team, which means you got to play for 60 minutes, you got to execute, do your job, have discipline, do it one play at a time for 60 minutes in the game.
Alabama improved to 6-1 on the year and remains undefeated in SEC play at 4-0.
Along with it being the Tide's 17th win in a row over the Razorbacks, it was also Alabama's 20th homecoming victory in a row.
The Tide received another weekly honor from the Southeastern Conference. J.C. Latham was named the SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. Latham did not allow a sack, quarterback hit, or hurry as he earned his first conference honor of the year.
And congratulations to the Crimson Tide's place kicker, Will Reichard. With the extra point on Alabama's first touchdown of the game, Reichard became the SEC's all-time scoring leader. Reichard surpassed Auburn's Daniel Carlson as the conference's all-time scoring leader with 481 points.
And congratulations to Coach Saban. With the win over Arkansas, Coach Saban earns his 200th win as head coach of the Crimson Tide. Coach Saban's record is 228 during his 17 seasons as head coach.
What a run it's been for the Crimson Tide under Coach Saban.
An incredible run, Roger. And speaking of those 44 first-round NFL draft picks, let's take a look and see how some of those fared this past week for our Crimson Tide and the NFL Players of the Week. Starting it off, Tua Tagovailoa led the Miami Dolphins to a comeback victory over Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Down 14-0, the Dolphins scored 35 unanswered points for the win as Tua completed 21 of 31 passes for 262 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it was nice to see after the game, Tua and Jalen Waddle hug their former teammate Bryce Young and offer some words of encouragement to him. Those guys always stick together, Roger.
They definitely do. Even in the game, Quinnen Williams had an interception as the Jets defeated the other undefeated team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles. Williams picked off his former teammate Jalen Hurts on a tip pass for his first career interception.
And our thoughts and prayers are with former Crimson Tide and current Buffalo Bills running back Damian Harris. Harris was carted off the field and taken to a hospital for a neck injury he sustained in Sunday night's matchup with the New York Giants. The diagnosis now is a neck sprain, but the great news is Harris has full mobility in his arms and legs, and he's already been released from the hospital and is back home recovering. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Damien, and we hope you get well soon.
Absolutely. Here on campus this past week was homecoming. There were a lot of festivities going on during the week and around the football game.
Yes, they were. And our Delaney Jones joins us now for a recap of homecoming week. Delaney?
It was homecoming this past week on campus, and the Quad was the place to be on Friday night for the homecoming bonfire. Nick Saban and the leaders of the football team, along with Eli Gold, spoke on stage during the pep rally, and former Crimson Tide safety George Teague was back in town serving as the Grand Marshal of the homecoming parade on Saturday morning. Now here's a look at a recap of all the homecoming events from this past week.
This has always been a special time for me here at the Capstone. You realize that when you're part of this crimson and white family, you are family forever. And there's not a better feeling than that. Trust me, I know that vividly.
I think that homecoming is a special time. It's a special time for you to come back and create relationships with many people who you don't see, but it's a special time for us to make it a special visit for you. The energy and enthusiasm that you have in the stadium tomorrow is going to help them do that, and they appreciate that more than you know. Make it hard for the other team to play and make it great for our team to play. So,
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Legacies rise from purpose. They're developed through passion, determination, and the power to follow through. This is where ambition meets opportunity. What happens next is up to you. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Christy Curry is pretty pumped up about her crew, too.
How good can the Crimson Tide be again?
You know, I think this group really bonds well together. They have great chemistry. I think you can always be the most passionate and the hardest worker in the room, and I will fight for those kids.
McQueen right down Main Street, and she'll get the foul.
Oh, what a three! A nice step through.
Gianna Cunningham. Oh, yes!
And then we add new faces, so this team is going to be fun to watch. And we've been working in Tuscaloosa, so we're excited for the season.
Bring it on.
We are here for it.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. The Alabama Crimson Tide picked up their 17th win in a row over the Arkansas Razorbacks on homecoming with a 24-21 victory.
Yes, they did, and there were several major milestones accomplished during that win. Coach Saban earned his 200th win as head coach of the Crimson Tide, and place kicker Will Reichard became the SEC's all-time leading scorer. Let's take an all-access look at the Tide's win over the Razorbacks.
Everything is still on the table for the Crimson Tide.
This team, he likes his personality. They're trending in the right direction. And Jalen Milroe, his improvement is a big reason why.
He's getting better each week, and maybe most importantly, he's got confidence, guys. Bama has looked like a different offensive team.
Throws up long, looks, has a man wide open midfield, taking it to the house. Kobe, Prentice, touchdown! Alabama, 80 yards, and that's the way to recover right there.
Here's Milroe going deep again for Burton, and Burton just to make the catch. Jermaine Burton with 9 catches last week.
And Brooks just absolutely owned him there on the post corner route, wide open to move the chains once again.
Milroe under, here it is, pushed from behind by the tight end Oates, and a touchdown for Alabama.
Jefferson looks left, looks right, looks down, because he is covered up by crimson and white.
Miller with room inside the 35-yard line, and Jan Miller all the way down to the 28. Milroe on a roll right now. Lobbing it downfield, another wide open man. An easy catch by Nyblack. Alabama touchdown. Jalen Milroe lighting it up.
this Alabama defense playing as advertised in that first half.
KJ taken off and thrown down about 2 yards short of the line to gain. Keenan and Braswell team up on the stop. Williams on the carry past the 25 up to the 27-yard line. And Miller has a crease at the 40 and just runs through the defender. Williams has room, and Williams is inside the 30-yard line. And no problem for the all-time leading scorer in SEC history.
Down goes the quarterback. KJ Jefferson given a seat.
Redwell and a body slam on A.J. Green by Quindarius Robinson.
Straight into the end zone. Touchdown.
Bad possession there by Alabama.
And it is caught by Dominion for a touchdown.
The Razorbacks are back in the game. Run Dominion in trouble and spun down at the 5-yard line by Jalen Key. Gets hit. And down he goes. Dallas Turner with the takedown. A loss of 11 at the 35.
It's been a tale of two halves for Jalen Milroe throwing the football.
Time to throw here for Milroe. Everybody covered. Milroe looking to run. Turns upfield. And has the first down before he steps out. Milroe will throw the ball. Pressure on. And completed it. He somehow layered it over the defense to Nyblack for a first down. The pitch to McClellan inside the 40 and down to the 35. They'll take the clock down to about 1:35. McClellan turns upfield, breaks the tackle, gets the first down, and for all intents and purposes, gets Alabama a win. And Nick Saban is 200th with the Crimson Tide.
Your favorite atmosphere in college football?
To me, obviously, there's nothing like a huge game on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Bryant-Denny Stadium.
The chase is on, and it will be won by Julio Jones.
It is perfect football weather in Tuscaloosa. This will be a 100-yard scoop and score.
I'm telling you, this place is rocking right now at Bryant-Denny.
If you're looking to visit this stadium. They got it figured out here.
We are talking about Nick Saban, the greatest coach in the history of college football.
They're going to be an angry team this year, is my belief.
It's more than a buzz at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's electric. Here comes the Tide.
Welcome back to TideTV This Week. It's a series that was first played in Birmingham way back in 1901. This game has only been played in 3 locations: Knoxville, Tennessee, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa.
And this year, the game is back in Tuscaloosa in Bryant-Denny Stadium. For a preview of this fall classic, our Christopher England joins us now. Christopher?
It's the series known as the third Saturday in October. This will be the 106th meeting between number 8 Alabama and 15th ranked Tennessee. The Tide leads the all-time series 59-38, and this series has been a series of streaks. Alabama has won 9 in a row in Bryant-Denny Stadium and had won 15 in a row over the Vols until last season. Tennessee broke Alabama's 15-game win streak with a 52-49 win in Neyland Stadium. The last matchup in Tuscaloosa saw the Crimson Tide defeat the Vols 52-24. Up 31-24 early in the fourth quarter, the Tide closed out the game with 3 unanswered touchdowns as Alabama dominated Tennessee 52-24 for their 15th consecutive win over the Vols. Tennessee enters this year's matchup in Bryant-Denny 5-1 with a 2-1 record in SEC play. It's the first time the Vols have entered the matchup against the Crimson Tide with 1 loss or less in back-to-back seasons since the 1998-99 season. Tennessee's lone loss came at the hands of the Florida Gators. Florida defeated Tennessee 29-16 in the Swamp in Gainesville. Tennessee's 2 SEC wins have come against South Carolina and Texas A&M. The Vols defeated the Gamecocks 41-20 and then defeated the Aggies 20-13 this past weekend in Knoxville. In the win over Texas A&M, Tennessee could only manage one offensive touchdown. With Texas A&M up 7-0, Joe Milton connected with Jacob Warren for a 7-yard score to tie the game at 7. Texas A&M led 10-7 at the half, but the Tennessee defense only allowed a field goal in the second half, and the Vols special teams provided the game-winning score. D. Williams took the Aggies' punt all the way to the house, 39 yards to give Tennessee the lead for good. Tennessee had a tough time moving the ball through the air in that win over Texas A&M. Joe Milton, playing in his 6th season, completed just 11 of 22 for 100 yards with 1 touchdown and an interception. However, Milton did add 50 yards on the ground on 8 attempts as Tennessee rushed for 232 yards.
He's got a strong arm. They can make plays down the field, which, they take a lot of vertical shots, and he certainly has the capability of making those plays, but he's also athletic enough to extend plays in the pocket and run if necessary. So don't tell him anything different than any other time you're playing a quarterback. You can't get pushed by the quarterback. You got to keep the guy in front of you. You got to have disciplined pass rush lanes, and you got to try to make the guy throw the ball on time, from the pocket, and hopefully we can cover him well enough to make it work in the back end.
On the year, the Volunteers averaged scoring 36 points per game. That's 5 more than the Crimson Tide. Tennessee is also averaging over 100 more yards per game on offense than the Tide at 466 yards. Their strength has been the run game, as the Vols lead the SEC and are 6th in the nation in rushing with over 231 yards per game, averaging over 6 yards per attempt. On defense, Tennessee is 4th in the conference, allowing just under 18 points per game. The Vols ranked 2nd in the SEC and 3rd in the nation, averaging 4 sacks per game. Defensive lineman James Pierce Jr. is tied for 2nd in the conference with 6 sacks on the year. The Tide has a huge advantage in time of possession. Alabama is averaging almost 30 minutes per game, while Tennessee is dead last in the SEC and 129th in the nation at just 24 minutes and 35 seconds. The 3rd Saturday in October matchup is the SEC on CBS Game of the Week and will kick off at 2:30 in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Stay with us. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
Legacies rise from purpose. They're developed through passion, determination, and the power to follow through. This is where ambition meets opportunity. What happens next is up to you. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Christy Curry is pretty pumped up about her crew, too.
How good can the Crimson Tide be again?
I think this group really bonds well together. They have great chemistry. I think you can always be the most passionate and the hardest worker in the room, and I will fight for those kids.
McQueen right down Main Street, and she'll get the foul.
Oh, what a three! A nice step through.
Gianna Cunningham. Oh, yes!
And then we add new faces, so this team is going to be fun to watch. And we've been working in Tuscaloosa, so we're excited for the season.
Bring it on. We are here for it.
Welcome back to the Crimson Tide production studio inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. He is Roger Hoover, I am Kinsey Hughes, and this is Tide TV This Week.
The 24th ranked Alabama soccer team welcomed LSU to Tuscaloosa this past Friday night.
That's right, the Tigers came to town, and the Tide had an offensive explosion against the Tigers. After scoring 4 goals in the past 4 games, Alabama scored 4 in the win over LSU alone. After the Tigers got on the scoreboard in the first 10 minutes of action, the Tide responded with 4 unanswered goals. Off the pass from Jessica Skorka, Nadia Ramadan put it in the net to tie the score at 1.
Felicia Knox put Bama on top. The assist once again by Skorka. She kicks it to the center of the field, and Knox kicks it past a couple of LSU defenders for the goal. 2-1 Crimson Tide. Annist and Brooke Steer added the icing on the cake with a goal each as the Tide rolled over the Tigers 4-1.
The Alabama volleyball team was in action Wednesday night at South Carolina. The Gamecocks jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but the Tide bounced back to win set 3 in convincing fashion, 25-14.
However, South Carolina finished off the match with a 25-19 win in set 4 to earn the 3-1 victory. Despite the loss, Kendall Ray and Aaliyah Wells both surpassed the 900 kill milestone for their career here at Alabama. Crimson Tide returns to action on Sunday against LSU at 1 p.m. And from the men's golf team, senior J.P. Cave claimed medalist honor for the first time in his career at the Martin Fed Invitational. Cave set a 54-hole career high, shooting 15 under par, 201, claiming the title by 3 strokes.
Stay with us. We'll have our plays and players of the week next, right here on TideTV This Week.
TideTV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Your favorite atmosphere in college football?
To me, obviously, there's nothing like a huge game on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Bryant-Denny Stadium.
The chase is on, and it will be won by Julio Jones.
It is perfect football weather in Tuscaloosa.
This will be a 100-yard scoop and score.
I'm telling you, this place is rocking right now in Bryant-Denny.
If you're looking to visit this stadium. They got it figured out here.
We are talking about Nick Saban, the greatest coach in the history of college football.
They're going to be an angry team this year, is my belief.
It's more than a buzz at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's electric. Here comes the Tide.
Bending it, and a goal equalizes this match for Alabama. Nadia Ramadan back to the center. Felicia Knox with Alabama's second goal. Crimson Tide with Ennis sneaks it through. Make it 3. Alabama with a 4-1 lead against LSU.
Here's Milrow, loads up long, looks, has a man wide open midfield, taking it to the house. Kobe, Prentice, touchdown, Alabama. Extra point by Reichard is up and good, and that extra point has just made Will Reichard the all-time scoring leader in the Southeastern Conference. Milrow looks, has a man open, touchdown Alabama, Amari Nyblack, the tight end.
We had quite a few incredible moments for our Legacy of Hope Plays of the Week this week, and we anticipate that will only keep getting better.
That's right, Raj, and we know who makes those incredible moments happen, right? And that's our incredible Players of the Week.
Starting off, we've got the men's cross-country team who had a dominating performance in the Crimson Classic. The team was led by Victor Kiprop, who clocked a 23-13-9, and Hillary Chariot finishing just 10 seconds behind him. Crimson Tide had a total of 5 scoring runners that all finished in the top 16.
Hey, while that is super impressive, we can't forget about the ladies, right? Hilda Olamamoy and Doris Lemangole crossed the finish line at almost the same time, which is awesome. Doris came out on top, though. She finished with a time of 18:56.9. In total, the Crimson Tide had 3 athletes finish in the top 5 and 4 in the top 10.
After his first extra point of the game, Crimson Tide place kicker Will Reichard broke the SEC all-time career points record by booting in his 481st point of his career. In total, Reichard finished the contest with 6 points, which ranks him 7th on the NCAA all-time scoring list.
And we had to give some love to our guy Enzo Aguiard for capturing his 2nd consecutive ITA Southern Region Men's Singles Championship. Aguiard worked his way through 5 matches to repeat after defeating 68th ranked Peter Jovanovic from Mississippi State in a 3-set victory.
Enzo isn't the only Crimson Tide tennis player advancing. His teammates Filip Planishek and Andrei Zimnok took home the doubles championship as well, winning 6 matches, including an upset against the 8th-ranked doubles pair in the country. All 3 athletes will advance to the ITA National Fall Championships that begin on November 1st. So congratulations to all of our players of the week.
That's right, but Roger, we got to add one more as CTP's Sarah Casabri. It's her last show this week as our director because she is leaving to go work with ESPN in Charlotte. Sarah, we are so incredibly grateful for everything that you have done for us here at CTP. And speaking for myself alone, I've learned so much from you, and I can't wait to see what you do in Charlotte.
She's been tremendous here as a student and as a full-time employee. We are going to certainly miss Sarah. We say roll tide to Sarah Casabri.
Roll tide to Sarah Casabri, Dan.
Well, for everybody, we hope you have a great week, and we want you to come back here next week for another edition of Tide TV This Week. Until then, roll tide.
Roll tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,